Welcome back. We continue our coverage now with the death of Osama bin Laden. And joining us now is former Congressman Rob Simmons from Connecticut's 2nd Congressional District. He is a retired Army colonel, and he also has ties to the Central Intelligence Agency. So good to see you again. Thanks for coming on the program.
Good to be on the show.
So we're just reading, this is a joint operations that took Osama bin Laden down. They also call it JSOC. Can you describe what that is?
JSOC is the Joint Special Operations Command. This is a high-level command that coordinates special ops, usually involving the CIA in some capacity, also involving maybe Navy SEALs or Special Forces or Delta Forces, very highly trained soldiers who are accustomed to night operations, helicopter operations where you fly in, you come down a rope line and into a compound, which is what they did, and immediately engage the folks in there. Shot Osama bin Laden and several others, evacuated them out of the facility, and were gone in about 40 minutes. So it was very professionally done by our U.S. military and their intelligence supporters.
Sounds like the elite of the elite almost going in and strategically focusing in on this mansion, we're being told. The U.S. government is saying that he wasn't targeted, but it seems like it's hard to kind of really believe that. Maybe they were just targeting the leaders and not specifically him, but we've been trying to catch him for 10 years.
They're threading a needle. There's an executive order put out many years ago that said we will not assassinate foreign leaders or foreign folks. So, you know, this question comes up in the context of the bombing of Gaddafi's facility where some of his relatives were killed. Were we trying to kill him? Was he being targeted for assassination, or was it a routine military operation? I would argue that he was targeted in the sense that he's the guy we wanted. We went after him. We killed him. And guess what? He declared war on the United States in 1996 and 1998. In the process of conducting that war against the United States, he killed literally thousands of Americans and tens of thousands of other people. He got what he deserved. We got him. I think it provides closure for many people who felt that justice needed to be done.
They apparently confirmed through DNA that this was, in fact, Osama bin Laden, but then he was buried at sea, which is an Islamic custom, and I'm just wondering why that decision took place. On the one hand, you might argue, let's keep the body so that we can prove to the world that this really is Osama bin Laden. On the other hand, if you bury him according to Islamic custom, maybe you don't generate more hatred for the United States. I
think that's a very good point. They did DNA testing. Years ago, I was riding in a car with President George W. Bush. He told me and Nancy Johnson and Chris Shays at the time, we think we've gotten him. We've killed somebody in the mountainous regions of Pakistan. We're doing DNA testing. The bin Laden family has shared some DNA. We're doing DNA testing. We learned about a week later that it was not Osama bin Laden. So I'm sure they photographed the body. I'm sure they have taken DNA samples. They verified the DNA is his. It is him. And then the question is, do you want to hold the body? Do you want to bury the body in a ground where it might become a pilgrimage site for those who support Osama bin Laden? I think a burial at sea is the best way to go. For those who don't want to believe he's dead, I think the U.S. government's going to have substantial evidence that he is.
Former Congressman Rob Simmons, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on the show, as always. Rachel, over to you.
All right, Logan, we had an earlier crash which actually cleared up through Hartford, but I do want to show you the backup that's still left as a result.